Idiots.
Who?
People who make up crossword puzzles. Haven't they got anything better to do with their lives?
Can't you do it then?
No, I can't do it.
Thought as much.
I got a letter this morning.
I didn't.
I did. Curious, aren't you?
I gave up curiosity when I was 60.
Why?
There seems so little left to be curious about.
Well, I shall tell you about the letter anyway.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I have been invited to a dinner dance.
Why?
I thought you'd given up curiosity.
I gave myself an escape clause. I'm allowed to be curious 3 times a year. I mean, who would invite you to a dinner dance?
That's a nice thing to say. I've half a mind not to tell you about it now.
I could always go back to my book.
My ex-employers, the post office.
Were you the cheerful sort of postman?
Sometimes. I ended up in the area office.
Doing what?
Dealing with complaints. What's funny?
The thought of you dealing with complaints instead of making them.
Oh, sorry I brought the matter up, no?
I still didn't understand the dinner dance part.
Every few years, some bright spark organises a reunion for retired postal workers.
Would you end the evening by delivering all the old letters that got lost in the post?
You're in a very silly mood today. I don't think I'll go to this reunion.
No, all right.
I mean, it's hardly an invitation to meet the Queen, is it?
Not really, no.
Talk about slow torture. I think I fell asleep before the main course last year. No, I definitely shan't go.
Look, whatever you like.
Morning, Dad.
Good morning.
Do I look all right?
Very smart. You're not nervous, are you?
I am, actually.
Oh, you'll be fine. Have some breakfast.
I think I'll just have some coffee.
I was just saying to Betty, I don't think I'll go to this stupid reunion.
Oh, fine.
It does look better with that tie, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You were quite right.
Of course, if I don't go, they'll think I'm dead. Oh, I don't care.
Dad, will you stop going on and on about this reunion? There are more important things in the world.
Well, I realise that. I'm not exactly putting on a par with an international crisis.
Good.
But I do think it's marginally more interesting than Brian's choice of tie.
Well, you know, put like that.
No, it's not. Brian has a very important interview today. He's up for promotion.
Oh? Why wasn't I told about this?
Because we only knew about it yesterday, and you didn't get in till after we'd gone to bed.
I was round at Ellie's. We all had supper.
How is Ellie?
Fine.
Nice girl, Ellie.
This promotion, do you think you'll get it?
No, to be honest. There are several other candidates, all good men.
Now, that's being defeatist.
How about bribery?
Brian can get the job on sheer ability. I bet you work twice as hard as anybody else.
It's not ability. I'm not very good at interviews.
Nothing to them.
Oh, just how many interviews have you attended recently?
No, not a lot.
Then don't make airy statements.
I get sweaty. I fidget a lot. Then my throat goes dry and I start to cough.
Now look what you've done. You've turned him into a nervous wreck before he's left the house.
No, he hasn't.
No, I haven't. Now, my advice is this.
I think I'll be going.
Don't you want to hear my advice?
Tell me tonight.
But you'll have had the interview by then.
Exactly.
Oh, well, good luck anyway.
Thanks.
Come on.
So shall I go to this reunion or not? Well, I don't know. Sometimes you talk to yourself in this house.
I liked school.
Oh, I bet you were a good boy.
Yeah, I suppose I was.
I wasn't.
That shows, by the way, you can't do crosswords.
Very droll. Do you ever go to your school reunions?
Only once or twice. You lose touch.
Funnily enough, I still haven't decided whether to go to my reunion or not.
Oh, you've been talking about that all day.
I'm sorry if I'm boring you.
Yeah, you are. Ah, here they come.
Hello, Neil. 2 honorary granddads for the price of 1.
What does that mean?
Well, it means we're both here.
What have you done to your knee?
I got pushed over in the playground.
Oh, well, accidents will happen.
But he's always pushing me over.
Who is?
Him.
School bully, eh? They'd like a word with his father.
That's his father.
Oh.
What are you going to say to him, Grandad Peter?
Oh, don't you worry, Neil. I'll have a word with him in the future. Sometime.
Very wise. Which hand?
That one.
You brave chap. It's not a bad cut.
Did you get lots of wounds when you were in the Foreign Legion, Grandad Peter?
Oh, thousands of them.
Foreign Legion?
He was a colonel,
Was he?
and he won lots of medals.
Ooh, you must show them to us sometime.
Oh, I will.
Come on, young man. Upstairs. Wash your hands and we'll have tea.
And Grandad Peter's going to have a word with Terry's father.
You will say these things, won't you?
Mind you, you must be quite fearless if you were a colonel in the Foreign Legion.
It's just a harmless fib.
Like saying you're going to have a word with that boy's giant father.
I shall.
The only word we'll hear from you is help.
Oh, really? Let me tell you, when I was a young man...
Well, you're not a young man anymore, so forget it.
No, but I mean, it's typical, isn't it? Some hulking great kid substituting brawn for brain.
I'm afraid that's not true in Terry's case. Not only is he the biggest boy in the class, he's also the brightest.
Oh, dear. There's always one like that, isn't there? There's always one.
It's no good crying, love. I lost to a better man.
Oh, why do you have to say that?
Because it's true.
Why can't you say that he only got the promotion because he licks the boss's boots?
Because he doesn't. Very outspoken, as a matter of fact.
A loudmouth.
No, just outspoken. Look, we're all right. The job I've got's a good one. Everybody can't win, can they?
No.
Well, they can't.
You're not even angry, are you?
It's bad for you, anger.
You are disappointed.
Of course I am. I feel as though I've let you down.
You've never let me down, that's the trouble.
You don't want me to, do you?
No. Yes. No.
I'm lost.
Well, sometimes I think I do. You're the perfect husband, Brian. You're kind, you're patient. Look how you put up with Dad. You don't get drunk, you don't chase other women. You're a lot to live up to sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologise, for God's sake.
I don't understand women sometimes.
Boiled potatoes all mashed.
I mean, it was weird. We start off talking about why I didn't get promotion and end up with Betty almost blaming me for not going off the rail.
Contrary creatures, women. They all love rascals, really.
Like you, I suppose.
Yeah. Hello, beautiful. When are you going to run away with me?
When you grow up.
See?
Sorry you didn't get the promotion, Brian.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect to. There's always one person you can never beat.
I know what you mean. There was a chap like that in the library.
What did he do? Take all the best books out before you could get to them?
When I used to work in the library. But whatever you did, he was always one jump ahead. He even got the only girl I was ever in love with. When he told me they were engaged, I got drunk and tried to fight him.
How long did you last?
About 30 seconds. Then he wiped the blood off my nose and took me out to dinner. I was best man at his wedding.
Mine was an out-and-out pig.
Your what was?
My Spectre, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? The Golden Boys, the winners.
Mine's dead.
Oh, has that anything to do with you?
Of course not.
Shame.
Mine, the one who got the job, is actually a very nice chap. You couldn't dislike him.
I hate mine. His idea of a good time is rubbing people's noses in what they haven't got. Still living with your daughter, Peter? Never mind, I'm sure she doesn't look on it as charity.
That's a terrible thing to say.
You talk as though you still see him.
Yes, he's the one who organises the postal workers' reunion.
So that's what all this indecision's about. He'll be there.
Oh, yes, he'll be there.
Look, Dad, if you do go, why not attempt a reconciliation?
Brian, you're doing it again. You're being the very, very good man who's driving Betty crazy.
Without drinking.
What, one lunchtime beer with two old codgers?
We'll have another one if you like.
That's it, be a devil. Have a practice of being a rascal. I tell you what, call the waitress beautiful.
I don't think I should.
Go on, live a little.
Peter.
Oh, unless you're scared.
I didn't say I was scared.
Oh, go on, then. Yeah, look, she's coming this way now. Go on, I dare you.
Hey, beautiful.
Yeah?
Could we have 3 more beers?
Of course you can. I'll get them straight away.
Good gracious.
A victory for the losers.
I didn't describe myself as a loser.
Neither did I, exactly.
Well, I did, and I've had enough. I'm going to that reunion, and I'm going to bury my Spectre alive, if necessary. But first, I'm going to sort out that school bully's father.
He's 10 feet tall.
8.
Dad, what are you talking about?
Suicide.
Rubbish. A blow for us all. 2 blows.
3 beers.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Rascal.
Checkmate.
You sure you didn't cheat?
You're not very sporting, are you?
I let you win, actually. It's time to go and pick Neil up from school. Come on.
But you don't have to come.
Oh, yes, I do. I've got to sort that boy's father out.
You're not actually serious about that.
Deadly serious.
That's an unfortunate word.
Well, we've got to do something. And after all, I'm the muscle in this outfit.
Look, you're too old to get into fights.
I'm not going to get into a fight. I shall use reason. Violence will be my last resort.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, if Ellie was here, she wouldn't let you go.
What time did she get back, as a matter of interest?
Not till 5.
Well, no point in talking about it then, is there? Come on. And stop looking as if you were going to a funeral.
Well, I might be.
Oh, dear. If I ever fight a duel, remind me not to have you as my second. What are you looking for?
A phone box. So I can call the police if Terry's father gets nasty.
You always look on the bright side, don't you?
I'm only taking... Here he comes. He is big.
So is Goliath. Well, here goes.
Do you want me to come with you?
What are you going to do, strangle him with your sling? No, you stay here and wait in reserve.
Well, how will I know if I'm needed?
If you see me flat on my back. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think you ought to know that I'm a lot fitter than I look.
Why should I want to know that?
Just in case there's any trouble.
Why should there be any trouble?
Well, I'm Neil's granddad. Well, honorary granddad. And your Terry's been bullying him.
Oh, dear.
Yes, it is, oh dear. And it's not fair, is it? I mean, Terry's a much bigger boy, and it's got to stop. Neil doesn't have a father to stand up for him, so I'm here to sort this out. So, what have you got to say?
I apologise.
What?
I'm really sorry. Look, I know Terry can be a bit rough. It's because of his size. When you're big, you see, well, people expect you to be tough. Before long, you go around trying to prove it.
Do you?
No, I despise violence.
But...
Terry, I know. It's not easy for a kid trying to measure up to an image that other people give him.
He's very clever as well.
Well, I wouldn't want to alter that.
No, of course not.
Oh, but I am sorry about the bullying, and I will put a stop to it.
Oh, that's very decent of you. Thank you.
Thank you for telling me.
Well,
That's all sorted out.
you've gone very white.
Rubbish. I'll just sit down for a bit. Then I grabbed him by the throat, like this. And I said softly, but very dangerously.
I didn't see you grab him by the throat.
Well, that's because my hands were a blur.
Did you tell him you were in the Foreign Legion?
I did, Neil, I did.
Bet he was scared.
He went white.
What did you do, Grandad Harry?
I was looking for a telephone box.
Why?
Well, if anything went wrong, Grandad Harry was going to rip the telephone box out of the ground
With one hand?
with one hand and come to my assistance. But that wasn't necessary.
Peter, there's only one child in the room.
Well, all right. Well, the truth of the matter is, I just had a talk with Terry's dad. Actually, he's a very nice man.
Oh.
I'm sure realising that Peter had been in the Foreign Legion must have had an effect.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, particularly a colonel in the Foreign Legion, with medals.
How many medals have you got?
Come on, Neil, time for bed.
I'll put my arm.
I'll come up with you.
Well, my grandfather's be coming up to say goodnight.
Of course we will.
I promise. On the honour of the Legion. Well, you've got to colour things up a bit, haven't you?
Actually, no. But I'm very grateful.
Well, that's that sorted out. Now for the reunion.
Not tonight, is it?
No, Saturday. When I lay my ghost, Ted Thurston.
Have you any idea how you're going to do it yet?
I'm on the way. Now, what would make him really envious of me?
Well, what you told me, nothing at all.
Now, there must be something I've got that he'd like, that he can't have.
You can rule out charm.
Oh, shush, I'm trying to think. I wonder.
What?
Something... Do you know Ellie's dress size?
Ah, there you are.
Well, it's where I would be, isn't it?
I was wondering if you'd like to come shopping with me tomorrow.
Oh. What for?
I want to buy a dress for Ellie.
I beg your pardon?
I want to buy a dress for Ellie, but I'll need help choosing it because it needs to be a bit glamorous, I suppose.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
I wanted Dad to ask, but he said you'd be more likely to agree if I asked.
You wanted my father to ask me to help you choose a dress for Ellie?
Yes.
A glamorous dress?
Well, a downright sexy dress, I suppose.
I'm not hearing this. If you're trying to prove that you're not as perfect as I said you were...
You made a mess of that, didn't you?
Just got confused.
I know, I should have done it myself. He's not paying for the dress, Betty, I am.
But the dress is for Ellie.
Yes, but really, it's for Dad.
Brian, either keep quiet or use longer sentences. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it, but this is part of a plan to make me a winner at the reunion.
Am I supposed to understand that?
Well, Ellie's very pretty.
That's a bad start.
No, forget Ellie for a minute. Sit down, Betty, and I'll start at the beginning. Let me tell you about Ted Thurston.
Please, indeed.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Betty's a long time in there.
She probably got the wrong bra on.
What's that mean?
Well, I don't know what it means. But every time a woman tries on a dress, she says, I've got the wrong bra on. Haven't you noticed that?
No. Why does that make them take so long anyway?
Don't ask me. I thought you looked nicer in the green.
Do you think so?
Definitely.
What do you think?
I wasn't paying any attention.
He's not a worldly man.
No.
Do you need any help with the zip?
No, thank you.
How much longer do you think she's going to be?
Betty, you coming out or you falling asleep in there?
I don't really want to come out.
You'd sooner see your old dad humiliated. Oh, yes. That is the one.
I feel a complete fool.
What do you think, Brian? Brian?
What?
I said, what do you think?
I think it's wonderful.
You mean you like it?
I think it's wonderful.
Starty!
I don't care.
Right, we'll have it.
Oh, yes. Miss? Miss?
You are silly sometimes.
Why?
Brian wasn't thinking of Ellie in that dress. He was thinking of you. At least I hope he was. Well, what do you think?
It's very... Why did he buy me a dress?
Well, do I have to have a reason?
Yes, you do.
I want you to come to the reunion with me.
Why?
Well, it's a dinner dance. I mean, I could eat on my own, but I'd look awfully silly dancing on my own.
I'm not sure that I could walk in this, let alone dance in it.
You don't like it?
It's not very practical.
It's not supposed to be practical. It's supposed to knock Ted Thurston's eyes out.
I was coming to that.
Well, go on.
I've told you what he's like. If I turn up with you on my arm wearing that, I can just see his face. What are you doing?
I'm trying to say no without losing my temper.
Well, I don't see why you should be angry.
I'm your friend, Peter. You don't use friends. I mean, look what you've done. You dream up this half-baked idea, you go out and buy that, and you don't even ask me first.
He meant to.
Then why didn't he?
Well, I don't see why you're going so up in the air about it for. It's only to make Ted Thurston jealous.
Because you turn up with me and that. What as?
Well, a friend.
No. As your little piece on the side. Isn't that what you really want him to think?
Well, if he jumps to any conclusion.
Then you'd be thrilled.
Yeah, all right, I would.
And what about me? What do I feel?
I don't know how you could think up such a rotten idea.
As a colonel in the Foreign Legion, you show little sense of honour.
I'm sorry, Ellie. As usual, I forgot to think it through. Oh, no. Who wants to go to the rotten thing anyway?
Well, did you tell Ted Thurston you would?
Well, who cares what he thinks? He'll probably say my mind's gone and I forgot the date.
Oh, look, Peter, I'll go with you if you like. I'll go with you as moral support, or as your friend. But not as some fantasy figure to make this man jealous.
I'll settle for that, believe me.
I assume I'll be babysitting?
Would you, Harry?
Yeah, I'll tell Neil about my adventures when I was in the SAS.
You wore the dress.
Well, I couldn't waste your money completely. But I'm hardly likely to wear it shopping, am I?
You look like a dream.
Well, you look very nice too.
Yes, the suit's a bit like me. Seen better days.
It's not like you.
I'll feel better once I've had a cha-cha. You going to leave your coat?
Yeah.
Peter!
Ted.
How good to see you. How are you these days?
Very well, thank you.
Still living with your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's very nice. Pity you can't afford a place of your own, though.
You've put on weight.
Too much good living, I'm afraid. I don't expect you go out much these days.
No.
And who is this delightful creature?
I'm Ellie. You must be Mr. Thurston.
Indeed I am.
Ellie's just a friend of mine.
Well, looking at you, old man, I wouldn't take her for anything else.
Now, Peter, don't be coy. You know very well that there are friends and there are friends. And then again, there are very good friends. Come on, darling.
Next on Anglia, a difficult patient poses problems in peak practice.